Welcome back to Matt Time. I am Daniel Tension, joined as always by my good friend Zach Sayre. How you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm doing great, Big Dan. I'm excited to be here for the Glenn's Lock Service AA Bracket Show Special.
Yeah, it's a good time. A lot of good feedback there from the other two episodes. Appreciate that, everybody. AAA done in the books. Still no changes anywhere. Still kind of surprising. Here we are sitting at
thus far. We're sitting
late
at
Monday
zero.
night. Yeah,
So.
late Monday night. We have no changes, but that's probably going to change still. But no big deal. Okay, we still got the brackets as is. So here we go. Tonight I went with New School hoodie, the digital Matt Time.
Digital Matt Time logo. I
And
like that.
I went last year's clashing black and navy black chain hat. That's what I did.
Hey, got to do what you got to do for the brand.
Doesn't look good, but it works.
Yeah, I'm rocking the classic Matt Time big state logo, the original. The original.
That's
logo
OG.
there. So the OG.
Yeah.
I
wore
like,
OG last time.
I like the OG. So, but yeah, thanks for joining us this evening, guys. Big shout out to Glenn's Lock Service. If you find yourself in Huntington this weekend and you're locked out of your car, or if you're ever in the area, need any kind of service like that, call Glenn's 304-522-4007. While we're at it, we'd also like to give a big shout out to Chain Wrestling for all of their apparel, being a partner in Matt Time with all of our gear. If you've not done that yet, go to chainwrestling.co and get all of your Matt Time and Chain Wrestling gear. Chain Wrestling, join the chain. Created by athletes for athletes, cultivated for the uncommon, apparel for the everyday grind.
Speaking of grind, it's over. 2 weeks is about over now. We're heading into it. Now we're at the 150-pound weight class, I believe, is where we're at with these AA, single A. So let's just dive on in, starting to get into the upper weights here. And this could be your feel-good story of the weekend right here.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody's chasing Judah. Now, let's go to a different world, shall we?
Okay.
We're going to make believe land. Okay. Let's just say freshman year, he's in any weight class but Isaac Shorts. Let's say COVID never exposes him. And let's say when all the craziness happens, he does, in fact, bump to 152 last year. We're probably talking about a kid going for his fourth title.
Yeah.
Instead, looking for number one.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, he's the one they're chasing. 2 losses this year, both on the big boy scale. 2 Florida kids beat him. He is going to go down as probably the best one-timer ever. Period.
Yeah, I would have to go back and look, but I mean,
he's a 4-time talent.
Yeah, in recent memory, though, I mean, I can't argue with that statement. I mean,
think about who he lost to, though. He lost to
all
7, and they were 7-0 in titles.
Yeah, never.
They were 7 for 7 in state titles. Yeah. Short and Barty.
They never lost in Huntington.
Never once. Yeah, they were a perfect. What would that be then? Perfect 28-0 between them. So I think it's Judah's. Everybody's chasing Judah. And, in the quarterfinal there, we got an interesting matchup with Fairmont Senior because obviously the point race is going to be super, super tight.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And, they had a chance to get film on Judah early in the year at the state duels, and they forfeited that weight class. Instead of wrestling in the Fairmont Senior Independence, instead of wrestling that match, which you'd have to assume you knew you had to go through Judah. Agreed?
Looking at the bracket, you would think so.
No, I think everybody's known, like, all year. Like, if you're going to win a state title, you got to beat Judah. I'd have taken the film. I mean, you're going to win the duel anyways. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And on the other side, it's Harris. I mean, Harris is a 3-time state placer. I think those two are on the collision course. I think they're on the collision course for a pretty good finals match. But I think Judah. It's all Judah. I mean, he's the storyline. He's the storyline here.
I agree. No, I think for the other wrestlers, winning that first match is going to be big.
For sure.
On the back end, you know what I'm saying? Because
you got to assume Michael's dropping down fairly early.
The way the consolation works for all those first round matches, that winner is setting good.
A lot better.
There's some tough draws for the quarterfinals, but you win that first match, and I think you're setting pretty good.
You give yourself a good chance.
Yeah, give yourself a good chance. So.
And again, you don't really want to catch Michael in the blood round because he lost to the best guy around in the quarters.
Yeah.
Like, Michael and Harris had a real close match at the regional championship. This is one of the ones.
If you lose, especially if you're on that top side of the bracket, if you lose that first match, then you're going to catch Michael.
Right, in the blood round.
Yeah, you're going to catch him.
Friday
That's
night.
why top guys, winning that first round match is big.
Very important.
Yeah.
Absolutely very important. But I don't mean to. I mean, I think the whole state's rooting for Judah at this point. It's been a long road. It's been a long road for this kid, and he's getting a lot of press. Obviously, had a huge football season. And I know he's kind of making that decision between wrestling and football, but I think it's his this year. I think he's going to finally get it done. Not that he's not done anything wrong the previous years. It's just ungodly luck.
Yeah,
it seems
very unfortunate luck.
Yeah. So there you go. I think it's going to be Harris and Judah coming out, and I think Judah's going to get it.
Yep.
Going to go down as the best one-timer of all time.
All right, Big Dan. Let's go on to
said what I said.
57. Anything sticking out to you here with this weight class?
In terms of the overall, this was the one they separated, so they felt the Zombro and the Woyan. They originally drew Pill 3 for this. It defaulted to Pill 2. And I think that's a logical decision. They're quote-unquote ranked 1 and 2, and they met last year in the finals.
In the finals, yeah.
So it makes sense if 1 and 2 are back in the same bracket, you might want to separate them. But, I mean, that's the overall trend with that. But I think Rollison there, sitting down there in the bottom of the bracket, he's had a really nice season. Now, he's been a little up and down. He's had some matches that got away from him late, and conversely, he's won matches late. But Jim Green's the one I'm going to say you got to watch. The one-man wrecking crew from Maine.
Mean Jim Green. We're big Mean Jim Green fans. So.
Yeah, and he wrestled a heck of a final in the regions against William.
Yeah, now that top bracket is a little.
It's tough.
It's a little loaded.
It's tough.
Hall, Bennett, Naturnicola, Green, Miller. I mean that's a good top bracket. I mean the bottom's is more evenly spread out, but that top bracket though, shoo.
And that's just how it falls.
Yeah, that's how it falls. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. So that that's going to be there's going to be some big matchups there. I mean you're looking at a Zombro v Bennett or Green. I feel like.
Well, I think the Bennett and Green quarter is tremendous.
That's a big quarterfinal.
Absolutely,
that's a very big quarterfinal.
It's a good.
Yeah,
it's a good quarterfinal too.
That's a Saturday.
That's a Saturday match.
Saturday match on Friday. So
that's a Saturday match, and it's Friday morning.
Yeah,
more than
right off the bat. Yeah, right off the bat. So now I'm excited to watch 57. Like I said, a lot of good talent there. That's going to be a good weight class to watch.
I agree. It's going to be a good one to watch, and I think they made the right choice. And I was very reluctant on most of these. If you should switch them, but I think that one was the right call.
Yeah, I think so. At least on paper for sure. I think, like I said, I think it's well, cut and clear that William and Zombro.
The logic was there.
So
the logic was there.
The logic was definitely there. So
and it was a good final last year too.
Yeah, it was a great match. All right, Big Dan, on to 165. I am very interested in this weight class.
What makes you so interested?
Well, you had Bush.
He went up.
Bush move up. All right, so then you got, we'll start there at the top of the bracket. You got Dlugopolsky, has been ranked up at the top of the weight class pretty well all year.
Yeah.
You got the freshman, Jesse Adams.
Yeah.
Who I think is a really big guy to watch here.
Wrestling really well.
Wrestling outstanding.
Wrestling really well here late.
Outstanding.
And he's got the right last name.
Yeah, not a bad last name to have.
Not in Huntington, not this time of year.
Couple wins belong to that name there. So, but like I said, you move on. You got Lowe from Warwick County, Cruzel.
Yeah, they're in the same quadrant there.
Like I said, this is a weight class that. I mean, I think there's legitimately 3 or 4 kids that, with the hot hand, can win the title.
I would agree with that. I definitely think there's at least 3 kids on the bottom. If you told me they finaled, I wouldn't be shocked.
Surprised, yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked at all. I do think Bush bumping up is a very interesting wrinkle to that. didn't get any explanation as to why, but maybe some of that gamesmanship that maybe he had it in his hand the whole time. He was going to bump up, or maybe he just got sick of cutting down the weight and you got that free bump at the end. But I think there's a lot of kids that can final, and like you said, there's probably, I'd say 3.
Like I said, 3, 4. Yeah,
if you told me, I don't think there's 4 to me, but that's okay. It's just my opinion.
To each their own.
But I think there's 3 kids you could say I'm curious to see what Lowe, man. Lowe's had a good season.
Yeah.
But I don't know, strength of schedule type thing. He's going to be fresher, I'm sure, than some of the kids. Because they haven't gone through the exact same meat grinder, but he's wrestled a really good season. He looked good at regionals. I think him and that Cruiser quarterfinal.
That's a big quarterfinal. That's a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday.
I think it's
match.
a Saturday match.
Yeah, on Friday morning there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I think someone else to watch here in this weight class too. Freshman at the very, very teetotal bottom. Wyatt Brady from Central Catholic there. Just someone to keep an eye on. So.
Yeah, Central Catholic have a nice little season in there.
Yep.
First time in forever.
Yeah, back in Huntington probably. I don't even know the last team that was fielded. I'd have to look that up. But 65 should be a dandy.
Another good one.
So
I just do one more than go to break.
All righty, 175.
175. I think it has a lot of. How do I say this? There's a lot of different kids that could place. A lot of different combinations I think could place. Obviously, I think Colton is the one you're chasing, which defending champ.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a shocker. I do think Angels had a really nice season, coming in kind of late.
Yeah, he's only wrestled 24 matches.
Yeah, Davis is having a really, really nice season. Like I really feel like the top 4 or so are pretty even wrestlers, and any combination of those 4 finishing anywhere in those top 4, I feel like is okay. Like it's not going to offend me. Like I won't say it was a crazy upset. And then from like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think there's a whole bunch of kids right there that could also many different combinations of it.
I agree. I think so.
Does that make sense?
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would definitely agree.
I think it's a little top heavy. I think the best are the best. I think the 3 or 4 best ones are the best ones, and they're going to pan out and be there.
Though, it's just kind of like.
Well, then it's the next tier. Yeah, I think there's only 2 distinct tiers here.
Yeah.
But I think Colton leads all the tiers. I think Colton, it's hard to bet against the champ. And kid's big, by the way. He's a lot bigger than last year. Anyway, he was another one that bumped last year.
Bumped him.
He may or may not have heard Rake was coming. I was like, you know what? I'm gone.
Let's play it safe here.
I am going up and getting out of his way. Yeah. But he bumped up late. I mean, he wasn't a big 60. I don't think he was cutting tons of weight last year. And he jumped up and won the title.
Yep.
So it's not like he's not used to it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how 75 shakes out. I agree with your statement there. I really like Fluharty's draw. On route to the semis. Now, obviously, you run into Caron there,
right?
But like I said, I like that draw for him.
I mean, you got to look at the Clark Davis round 1.
Yeah, that's the first round matchup.
How's that happen?
That's the first round matchup that really sticks out to me.
How's it happen?
Well, I mean,
I know you get fourth. I get it.
That's a deep region. I mean, you got of course Angel, and then Winfrey as the runner up. Lewis is third.
I know.
And then Clark. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a big name.
Yeah,
that's a big Thursday match.
That's a big opening round match. It is. It really is.
I think they both can podium. They're both in the discussion of getting on the podium. That's crazy. Good weight class. I think that's
definitely a good weight class.
That's going to be a very interesting weight class to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
See how that one shakes out.
I agree.
All right, that's mostly done with the upper weights. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
All right. Again, special thanks to Parmar Stores being a partner of ours. Been good to us, but we've been good to them. We keep filling up at their places. If they don't have a Parmar Stores near you, they will soon. They are the official sponsors of WSSAC Sports.
Yep, big shout out to Parmar. We'll be fueling up and getting some snacks there multiple times this weekend. As we head down to the state tournament. So
it's close enough to drive for us.
Yep.
No sense in spending all that money on a hotel room. But we will get something delicious to eat at some point, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Gotta eat good when you're in Huntington there.
For sure.
All righty. On to the 190-pound weight class, Big Dan.
We got?
Well, I mean, for me, I think this is a class. There's a lot of talent here.
Agreed.
You got, of course, the regional champions, which I think, like I said, they're all spread out.
They are all spread out. I agree.
Obviously, by virtue of the pill, but the talent itself is spread out. You got Ours and Howell. Of course, Howell.
Turning it on late.
Finalist last year has been wrestling really well. The bottom, you got Huffman from Doddridge and Hart there. If everything plays the chalk, I think those are some great semis. But there's a lot of good wrestlers spread throughout here as well. I mean, like I said, I see DeLegan and Hanshaw and
that's all up top.
And Huffman down low. You know what I'm saying?
You got Ours, Ligon, and Hanshaw up top with Howell.
Yeah.
This might start. This is kind of shaping up as the best quarterfinals that we've seen so far, top to bottom. I am very curious to see the Hart and Ours potential if they match back up. Yeah. Very curious on that one. Hart is a monster of a kid.
He is.
Yeah, he had a feed sack on when I saw him, just eating oats. The kid was gigantic. And him and Ours were it might have been a tied match, and he tries a little knee slide underneath, gets stuck on his back and pinned. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious how that match would play back out. I know there's been a lot of these guys kind of split with each other, super tight matches with each other. I think Howell is just kind of like a reminder I'm a state finalist.
Yeah.
Because he's starting to turn it on.
Yeah, and
he's starting to wrestle some of his best.
Like I said, looking at this a little more, I mean, Sowers had wrestled a good match there in the regional finals. So he's sitting there looking at a potential Huffman.
Right, that's a tremendous, like I said, tremendous.
And then looking at first round matchups, Buckley v. Huffman from Tyler Consolidated and Buckley from Williamstown. There, that's a nice first round match, and then the winner of that, of course, is going to get Hart most likely. So. Top to bottom, I mean, definitely good quarterfinals all across the board.
Agreed.
Like, it's just, it is. That's all there is to it. I mean, Hal Hanshaw, that's a good one.
Right. Now, I think Ours has done enough to be the one. I do think so. I think he is the one you're chasing. I just don't think it's as far as some of these other marathons. Yeah. You don't have to chase quite as far.
Yeah.
But you better wrestle a good match because the kid's wrestling well. Mm-hmm. He hasn't lost in forever.
Yeah, 34-3 in the year it's been.
He might have been winner's choice. I have to
go back.
The last time he lost.
To go back and check.
He's wrestled well.
Yeah, he wrestled really well. So
coming off a big season last year, good football season.
Yeah,
kind of put it together.
Keeping it rolling, man. Keeping it rolling. So alrighty, Big Dan. We're getting a little closer to more of your
bread and butter.
Here. We're gonna just move right on into the 215-pound weight class. Anything big stick out to you here as far as 215? Anything you like?
I like, again, a lot of great quarterfinal matchups here. Very intriguing at the top. I think Isaac Martin is wrestling as well as about anybody in the state. His Helm victory at regionals was decisive. It was a decisive victory, like 7-3, 7-4, something like 7-2 maybe. It was a clear cut. He had the offense going on. Him and Moffitt potentially there in the court. Now Burnside and Moffitt out of the gate.
That's a big first round matchup.
Those are two good names right out of the gate. Yeah. Remember, Burnside spent most of last year ranked. He was just a small heavyweight. That's what I'm getting. He was a small heavyweight. Now he's down to 215.
Yeah.
Moffitt was a big 190. Now he's up to 215. I think if he and Martin match up, it's an interesting styles matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of these 215s, and take no offense to this, folks, but a lot of these 215s are going to try to beat you 3-2.
Yeah.
2-1. Even a 1-0. Maybe sprinkle in a whooping and be 4-2 if they really put it on you. Kids like Moffitt, Martin, Vandal, I think those are more of your point scorers type kids. They're going to try to push pace.
Get after it a little more, yeah.
I think they're going to try to push pace for the entirety. That's why it's a little disheartening to see the winner of that quadrant of Burnside, Moffitt, Martin have to draw into potentially Vandal. Because I feel like style-wise, it'd be more interesting to have a Wurstel versus one of those two and the other one wrestle Casto. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because stylistically, you got the more athletic, explosive, try to score points by the ton versus
sitting up top and then the
really good positioning.
Yeah.
They're not going to get themselves in trouble. They're going to score when they get the chance, but it's not necessarily going to be fireworks the whole match. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. No,
Stylistically, I think it's just two opposite brackets.
Yeah, and I agree because look at Cool, for example, at Winfield. That's another guy that's not really a monster 215, more of the athletic.
Yeah.
The athletic 215 there. So, I agree with the bottom. You got
the Wurstel Helm quarterfinals.
That's a big
also,
quarterfinal. I was about to mention that. That's a Saturday match right there.
Yeah.
On Friday morning. So that's gonna be a big quarterfinal matchup there. And I think I like Castro's draw out. On the bottom.
He's been here before too.
Oh yeah, definitely a veteran. Has had a good career and going to look to try and go out on top there. So
been there.
This will be, like I said, 215. There's a lot of talent there in that weight class. I'm interested to see.
I think it's pretty deep.
Out, so.
It's one of the deeper ones. I think 190 and 215 both have a lot of kids.
Yeah, definitely going to be some good
even.
semifinals.
Oh, for sure. I think the wrestlebacks will be good.
As far as the matchups, the styles of you know what I'm saying? And like you said, the top style or the top bracket is going to be one style of matchup, and the bottom's going to be another. So.
And it'll be interesting to see how the winners square off on Saturday night. Which style wins?
Yeah. No, that'll be interesting for sure. So
Hauser scratching there at regionals was kind of disheartening. Hate to see the champ not make it back, but
hated that.
Hope he stays healthy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, alrighty, Big Dan.
To me, it's the main event of the evening.
The big boys.
The heavyweights.
285. What do we got here, Big Dan?
In terms of what? So instantly you got Isom Olinger out the gate.
big first round matchup there. Definitely. That's a big.
They've matched up before, and it was kind of an innocent, this wasn't as important as you thought it was, but now that's a huge matchup because I think both of those have a chance in that top quadrant with Arbogast. Arbogast has not seen the mat very often.
No.
At all.
And
I've been in the same gym as the kid 4 times, and I don't think we've seen him wrestle but once or twice. I was super early in the year. He's been hurt. He's been in and out. When they were at the state duels, he forfeited every match. So he hasn't seen most of these kids. Actually, I think he's only wrestled the Braxton County kid and the ones in his region. But he didn't get a chance to see Isom. He didn't get a chance to see Olinger. Didn't get a chance to see Weaver. There's Huffman. Huffman's a sleeper as a 4.
Well, yeah, but that's a big matchup there. Matney, Huffman. That's a huge first round matchup there. That's two really talented heavyweights there.
Well, to put it in perspective, the loser of that match is probably going to draw out and wrestle the loser of Arbogast and Isom Olinger. That loser wrestles the loser of that match. Those are two of those 5 names mentioned. They're all pretty much ranked.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Someone don't get to play the game. It's gonna be Isom causes so much trouble with his size, and you can't talk that sort of size without talking Weaver.
Yeah,
he's a giant.
And McLaughlin, for that matter. That's two big guys looking to clash there in the quarter.
It is, but it's a very different.
Different style of big, but
you know what I mean. It's a very different big.
Definitely a different style of big there. But no, this is
Isom's trimmer than last year.
Yeah,
but he's up and down. He's up and down. He'll beat a couple kids. You're like, wow, those are great wins. And he'll turn around and lose somebody you didn't expect him to lose to. Him and Matney have split, and I think that was very important for Matney coming into this weekend because I think I talked to his dad at one point this year on the Book of Face, but he's so far south you don't see him.
Yeah.
And if you don't get quality wins like that, you might hear that voice in your head heading to Huntington. Hey, here he comes as the champ. He beat Isom, 3rd place last year. Kid's got a ton of momentum. Now he draws Huffman.
That's a tough draw. That's a tough draw right off the bat.
Super tough draw because Huffman got caught in a throw in the semis of his regional. And kudos, by the way, to old Williamstown there, old Burge, because he went right after Weaver 100 mile an hour in that final because he isn't a very big heavyweight.
Yeah, a little smaller. Yeah,
but he is going to go after you.
Yeah,
I mean heavyweight's always exciting. I think Morris is wrestling extremely well as well. I think the winner of that top quadrant is going to draw out to Morris, and I think that's going to be a really good semifinal. Morris is wrestling very well. He's got a good practice partner out of Casto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true.
I think clearly you have to say you're chasing Weaver. I mean, you placed at Ironman, you placed at Knockout, you placed at all these major tournaments across the nation. You got to assume that's the guy, but there's a lot of. I think the top half has a ton of crazy, interesting matchups and a ton of crazy scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think you could name 4 or 5 kids.
I could name 4 right now.
That could final for sure. I mean, I don't think that's not a far-fetched statement to make.
I can name 4 from the top.
Yeah.
Right now. Like if you told me Arbogast final, I'd say okay. If you told me Isom final, I'd say okay.
Yep.
If you told me Olinger final, I'd say okay.
Yep.
If you told me Casto or Morris final, I'd say
yeah. No, I agree. Like I said,
none of those kids would shock me at all if they
no, not at all. Yeah, that top side, like I said, it's wide open. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
4 for sure. I mean, I think that's definitely.
That's a tough. that's a tough bracket up top.
That's a very tough bracket. So
yeah, that's not an easy draw.
So
all right,
well,
upper weights.
Upper weights done. Thanks for joining us there on the Glenn's Lock Service AA, Single A bracket show special. It's been a good episode here. Looking forward to talking some small guys in the next one.
Mix it up on you.
Mix it up, yeah. We switch things up a little bit.
One big guys, then little guys. I guess we're just about ready to wrestle. That's it.
Yeah, we're getting there, so we're definitely getting there.
All right, well, until next time, folks, thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Tinch.
And I'm Zach Sear.
Have a good one.
See you guys later.